Hey, beautiful souls, beautiful sunshine here with your Holistic Healer, aka Sonia B. So I am back with another intuitive song message. So for those of you who are on Instagram, if you want to hear the full message, you're gonna have to go over to YouTube, check the description box or the bio link, and you will see the link to YouTube. So anyway, let me get into this intuitive song message, right? So this is like one of my favorite songs that I like and I have in my old school playlist. Sometimes I don't always know the words to the song because I really just hum to the melodies and the tunes of the song. So anyway, with that being said, basically when I was getting ready to go out to walk my dog this morning, right? So I had just putting on my coat, and basically God had given me the song of Heart's Desire, okay, by Earth, Wind, and Fire. So I was just like, oh my God, like, so the one little, I was like, okay, Lord, I was like, where we going with this song? So then I just remember, if you look way down deep in your heart's desire. So with that being said, let me get into this quick message for you, because some of you guys are experiencing this in regards to, you know, I'm hearing Spirit say just a deep yearning, like this heart is really cracking open. You know I told you guys, and I said this in another video too, I don't want to be too redundant with what I'm saying, but I told you guys some time ago, probably like 2 months ago, that some people's hearts are melting, in other words. But I'm sure some of you guys have probably just kind of went on with your life and like, huh, my heart ain't melting. You know, I'm good, I'm solid, I'm grounded, and ain't nothing going over here. But no, we're just in those energies right now, because energy is fluid. Like I said, you know, we give a message, you know, whether it's a tarot message or whether it, and I'm not talking about me, I'm just talking about tarot card readers, because I noticed some of the prophetic messages line up with some other prophetic messages. I'm not saying all, but anyway, just be mindful of just who you're listening to and who you're watching as well too, because everybody isn't always of the light. They have light and dark and good and everything, okay? Whether it be church people, whether it be tarot readers, whether it be someone coming and giving a false message or whatever. I don't want to get into all that because that's not my place to talk about it, but basically Spirit's just telling me to move on. But anyway, so okay, so basically this is how the song goes, right? Because some of you guys are experiencing this in regards to love. Some are having a desire to just up and leave, like abruptly. And some is just having this desire to just do something different in their life. Some is having a desire of just trying to figure out which way do they go. Like I'm hearing like midlife crisis. Like some people just like, what is going on? Like, because you're doing something that you've never done before, so it's kind of throwing you off. It's probably scaring you a little bit, and it's probably like, oh shit, like what is this, right? So I'm here to tell you that it's all good, right? Because it's gonna lead you to better places. So anyway, it starts off and it says, don't mind my singing, y'all. It says, hearts of fire, creating love, desire. Take you higher and higher to the world you belong. So for some of you guys, you are definitely, God is trying to push you to a place of, for you to be able to sit on your throne. I gave that message yesterday in regards to like a throne, like the chairs that was there, and it was one particular throne that was sitting there. In other words, like, and even I'm even hearing Spirit say some of this is even a project for some of you guys. Like we're all going higher in different ways, you know, whether it's somebody going higher in love, whether it's somebody going higher in, you know, their business, or whether somebody's going higher in just evolving into a better person. So again, it's different for everybody. Just take it how it resonates with you. It is basically saying, take you higher and higher to a world you belong. Hearts of fire creates love, desire. Higher and higher to your place on the throne, okay? And then it says, we come together on this special day, sing our message loud and clear. Looking back, we've touched on sorrow days, future past, they disappeared, okay? You will find peace of mind if you look way down in your heart and soul. And I just said that, actually, if you guys didn't listen to the Daily Bread today, go and listen to the Daily Bread, because that message and this song goes hand in hand with each other. I honestly didn't even think I was going to give that John 3:20 verse today, but Spirit was like, no, I need you to go do that verse today. But then he also gave me that song too. So I think it's just a beautiful thing with how God just shows up, and I don't know what he's having me to do, but I just do it because I'm just being obedient to the word, okay? Because although I am creating a business for myself, or should I say I have created a business for myself. Let me say that, I got to stop talking past tense. I have created a business for myself, but I say all that to say that I work for God. I don't work for myself. I work for myself physically, yes, but spiritually, I work for God, okay? So anyway, and that's the type of mindsets that, God wants us to have, because he wants us to put us first in all things that we do. When it says, trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not to your own understanding, meaning your way of understanding of how you think things should go. In other words, what is it? Not lead to your own understanding, in all your ways that he shall direct your path. So as long as you're on his path, he's going to always make sure it's a solid and a firm foundation. But if you're doing it your own way, it will surely not last. Okay. But anyway, let me finish. So, and I'll put the link down in the description box if you guys want to listen to the song or either read the lyrics and apply it to your life how it is. You can allow it to speak to you, and if you feel like it resonates with you, then all means take it and run with it. If you feel like it's don't, that means you're probably not there at that mindset or that path just yet, because we're all at different phases of our stages of healing on our healing journey. So anyway, where was I at? Touching sorrowful days, future past, they disappeared. You will find peace of mind if you look way down deep in your heart and soul. Don't hesitate because the world seems so cold. Stay young at heart, and stay young at heart because you're never old. I'm sorry. Bear with me, y'all, because I'm just coming out of that post-shadow period of Mercury retrograde, okay? I'm not trying to use that as an excuse, but it is. Mercury retrograde, we're done with the energy, but it usually affects me like two weeks out or whatever. But it's better than what it was before. But anyway, so yes, God wants you to remember to that place back when you felt young, you felt youthful. For those of you who've gotten into this mindset of just becoming a hermit and cloaking yourself and trying to protect yourself from the world, and cutting yourself off from the world, and cutting yourself off from people, places, and things that brings you happiness. God wants you to get back to that place. He wants you to get back to that mindset of just feeling free, feeling youthful. I don't know about y'all, but I know for me, like somebody asked me on my birthday, it was like, let me guess, you still 20, what'd they say? Let me guess, you still 23? You still 23? I said, no, I'm actually 48 this year, but I said I'm still 23 at heart, right? So I say all that to say, yes, I'm 48, but I'm telling you, if you knew me on the other side of this camera, like my heart is just like, it's almost like I am so youthful, that's all I can say. I'm just so youthful. I was telling my kids the other day, I said, it seemed like 50 is becoming the new it. I haven't reached 50 yet, but almost there. But it just seemed like 50 is coming the new it. Now I feel like when I reach 60, I'm like 60 is becoming the new it. Meaning like, oh my God, like I personally feel like I think I look good for my age. If anybody want to comment, if we're at that place that we would like to comment, feel free to do a heart. But anyway, so with that being said, so like I said, God just one thing about me is I've always dealt with kids, for 27 years. That's the old path, but this new stage going forward, I'm dealing with kids, but it's not in a classroom any longer. So I'm dealing with kids in a labor and delivery room. Let me just first and say that first and foremost. So if anybody's ever looking for a doula, here's your girl right here, okay? So anyway, because I love babies, I actually had to make a phone call this morning, and I heard this lady, I think she was working from home, and I kept hearing like this baby in the background. I said, is that a baby out here? And she said, yeah. I was like, oh, I said, just melted my heart, because oh my God, I love babies, but I love helping. I'm off topic here, but see, I'm telling you things that I love, which is about this song, right? So obviously that's how Spirit set it up. So yes, I say all that to say, if you're someone who is looking for a birth doula, right now, because I am still somewhat in training, I am at a very, very, very low cost, should I say, but you have to make sure that your hospitals are allowing birthing doulas, helping to assist, because I know some hospitals are basically just saying that no, they only allow mom and dad into the rooms. But yes, birthing doula is something that I actually love, because I love just the fact of helping assist moms in, you know, their state of being vulnerable, should I say, where dads can help assist. But, you know, coming from woman to woman, you know, it's something totally different. Again, not saying that dads can assist and be great providers in a labor and delivery room, but at the same time, because I'm a Reiki practitioner and a Reiki teacher, you know, I basically have the extra tools that's needed to help assist mom when she's in labor and delivery, which is the great benefits of Reiki. Okay, so it basically relaxes you, it calms you, and it helps you to just feel at peace and not stressful. You know, so I say all that to say it's a beautiful thing. I had 2 births that I was able to attend and be a part of, and oh my God, it was just like so beautiful, because even before I had my kids, it's funny because even before I had my kids or after I had my kids, I used to always say I've always wanted to see a birth. I never knew why I was saying that, right? I didn't even know it was a part of my life path until I actually watch my story. You see it. I'm in a process of, don't worry, I didn't forget about you guys, and I told you that. But yes, watch my story, because it was no longer about being in the classroom anymore. God was like, I know you have a heart for kids. So therefore, I'm allowing you to switch, but you can still deal with kids. So when I left, oh my God, I kicked my heels. I was like, yay. So I was basically saying to myself, like, no more being in the classroom. I enjoyed the kids. I just didn't enjoy the corporate paperwork and dealing with, you know, all their rules and regulations. Not saying I'm not about rules, because they weren't even practicing their own rules, but I don't want to get into all that. But basically, I get to create my own time, and I get to create what I want to do when I want to do it, and not on somebody else's time or their dime. But you know, I get to do what I love most of all, which is what this song was all about. So I didn't mean to turn it into like it seemed like I was doing a commercial for my business, but I guess Spirit just led me there. So anyway, but let me pull these couple cards real quick, y'all, before we go, because I was divinely guided for these 3 particular decks. Spirit, what is the message in regards to this song that you gave me? What do you want the collective to know? Hold on. You're telling me to take this deck first. What message do you have for the collective, Spirit? I know there's different groups of people, and they're all doing different things. What message do you have for the collective in regards to this message? Bear with me, y'all, because these cards are kind of long. They're like really long for my hands. Oops. Putting this one back because it fell out because I was trying to hold it. What message do you have for the collective? Divine Spirit of Light. What message do you have for the collective? Ooh. Good Lord. Okay. That's so funny, because I just said that we have different groups of people. So we have the group here who needs to self-love themselves. And then we have those group of people who are going to meet their soulmates. And I kept telling y'all, like, this song is about people running into... I'm just so excited. I'm sorry, y'all. I get so excited, and I feel Spirit right now. I get so excited when I give a message, and then these cards just line up with the message I gave. And you saw me shuffling them on camera. Anyway, and then fated events for some people. People running into their divine counterparts is what I'm hearing Spirit say. Bear with me, y'all. So fated events and soulmates. And remember, soulmates, thank you, Spirit. Soulmates could be anybody. Like I said, I talked about in the Daily Bread, I talked about a homeless person. So a homeless person could be even a soulmate as well, too. That does not necessarily mean soulmate relationships can be somebody that you just had a relationship with in a past life, in other words, you know. In other words, it could be a dog, it could be a homeless person, it could be the person you pass on the street, it could be somebody that you actually had a relationship with, it could be one of your best friends, it could be people that are in your soul group. So those, and so sometimes soulmate relationships aren't always actual, they're relationships, yes, but they aren't always love relationships. Yes, of course, we have love for our pets, dogs, and, you know, other people, and so on and so on. But I'm just letting you know, just so you don't think that it's just like a love relationship, but it could be a love relationship too. So just keep that in mind as well too. Okay, so for those people who need to hear the self-love, take time out to get to know yourself and what works for you in this particular cycle of your life. Some of the biggest obstacles to self-love are self-criticism and perfectionism, which leads to harsh judgment of the self, closing down, and eventually illnesses. Have you been trying to have you been trying to compete with others? Get approvals from people in your family, or simply pushing yourself too hard? I can kind of vouch for trying to push myself just a little too hard when trying to do like projects behind the scenes. But again, you hear all the different scenarios. So if you need to soften and start listening to your body, focus on keeping your heart open and precise, acknowledging and precise and acknowledging and recognizing the good in yourself and others. This card beckons you to breathe love in and out every moment of the day. Ask yourself, what changes do I need to make my daily routine so that love can pulsate through every breath, action, and relationship I engage in? Choose to open your heart through softness, deep breathing, relaxation, movement, finding beauty in nature, in your home, in your plan, in your love, and in your sadness, in prayer, etc. Keep your heart open, even though it makes you feel vulnerable and exposed. Okay? Whew. So then we have the soulmate. Let's see what's coming in for the soulmates, which is the same thing. Open your heart in your invitation to sacred love. Your soulmate is not far from you. To connect with them, you need to open your heart, call them in, and have patience. If you are not ready to accept your soulmate, keep working on self-love. You will be drawn to your soulmate like a magnet and feel immersion sense of familiar. I jacked this word up the other day. Familiar. Bear with me, y'all. This is dyslexia's part kicking in. Familiarity. Excuse me. Anyway, oh God, I lost my thought. Okay, like you have known them before. Your captivity to love will increase dramatically, and you will experience higher state of consciousness. No one can touch your heart in the same way that the soulmate can. So true. It is important to note that your soulmate will not necessarily be your partner. He or she may come in completely different form than you have imagined. That's why I just said it could be a dog, it could be, a friend. So keep that in mind as well too. He or she may not come in a completely different form that you have imagined, but they will offer you incredible wisdom, growth, and expansion, because that's usually what soulmates do. They come in to help you evolve in some sort of way, to help you to learn something. It's a lesson that usually and once the lesson is usually learned, they usually kind of fade out of your life in a sense, because they were only meant to be there at a specific time. And sometimes soulmates can go on for lifelong partnerships. It just depends on what soul contracts that you sign before coming to earth. Okay. Where was we at? See, we attract them into our lives when we need to open our hearts fully and learn about unconditional love. So boom. And then we have fated events. So fated events. Faith requires you to believe in something that is not yet evident to the naked eye. So that's like the scripture was talk about faith. Faith by works is, hold on. Oh God, why just lose it for a minute? Faith comes by, oh God, give me a minute. I don't know why I just drew a blank. Anyway, I know that scripture. So to regenerate more faith, focus on your why, your dreams, desire, feelings, attitude, and thinking, and not on the how, like how it's supposed to happen. Just stay open. God wants you to stay open. Action plan, strategies, and skills. Your whole life you have been taught to think about the how. That is so true. How are you going to get there? Because sometimes God just wants to, we're in this different energy now that God wants us to trust him, that he's going to take us to where it is that we need to go, rather than we try to take the steering wheel ourselves and drive. He just wants us to let go. Of course, he wants us to have a sense of direction of where we want to go. But the key is we try to plan key for key outcomes and desires, when God say, enjoy the present moment and allow me to allow that to unfold to you, and let me surprise you, in other words. Because I know some of us don't like to be surprised. For me, I like surprises, but for me, I used to kind of hate to be surprised because I didn't want to be caught off guard in a sense. But God is just like, let me surprise you. Just let me surprise you. Anyway, so the magic that will happen if you stop focusing on the how and only on the why is after some time of practice, you will notice that the how will present itself to you. It is through your focused, positive thinking that you will create people, circumstances, events that will take you closer to your dreams. What you have mostly done is to focus on the how, which has made you doubt yourself. This means that you are vibrating negative thoughts into your to the universe, keeping your dreams away. Remember, you were created to be a co-creator here on earth, designed for an achievement. Faith is known that everything is going to work out the best possible way, no matter what things look like. Thank you, Spirit. Oh, thank you. The scripture was, faith cometh by hearing, not by seeing. In other words, because if we see it, of course we're going to have faith, but it's about hearing. You heard something, so now it's a matter of, do I believe what I heard? You know, just like me, I set out on this journey years ago, and it's like, I knew that I was supposed to be working for myself, right? And not working for, these corporations or companies out here, and there were times where I have worked for myself 3 different times, should I say, and things usually comes in 3. So for me, it came in 3s, and the last time God was like, nope, that's not a part of your next chapter of your life. So get used to saying goodbye. It's just coming in a different form than what I expected. That is so much better. That brings me so much more happiness. I'm not saying, of course kids bring me happiness, but like I said, the thing that I didn't like the most was all of the the corporate rules and I'm gonna say bullshit ass rules that they come up with. Like, let's just have a real conversation. Like, oh, you got days. Let's just say if you got a whole month that you want to take off. If you decide you want to take a month, I don't even know where I'm going. Okay, but I'm going to be obedient. I don't even know where I'm going there with this. You have a whole month that you could take off. And even, thank you, Spirit. Oh, it's so funny because it says let go. We got this card one day last week too. So, and even though people may have, let's say, sick leave or just personal leave, they always want to know, okay, tell me, this doesn't make sense, right? So people tell you that you have personal leave, they tell you have sick leave, but then they turn around and tell you, oh, you can't take off. So when you basically put in a request saying that you want to take off a certain day, and they tell you, oh, well, you can't take off that day because such and such is taking off that day. Well, what sense does that make? Why do they have personal leaves? They should basically state that, well, you know what? We can't allow you to take off because somebody else has already put in an order. But, granted, that has worked like that, but that does not make sense. If a person has leave, that means they should always have somebody there on standby to fill in for your position. Because let's just say hypothetically, if something happened in somebody's family to where, let's just say, like, classic example, this whole COVID-19 thing was a classic example of sorry, I got something in my mouth. COVID was a classic example of letting go of control, because you cannot control the situation. If people got sick and they couldn't come to work, they got sick and they couldn't come to work. What the hell could they do? Absolutely nothing. At that point in time, that left them in a situation, even with the schools, because basically God had showed me a dream where, you know, well, how the schools were operating as well too, like behind the scenes spiritually, what was going on, and how they was trying to entice the kids to come back into the school, and even making the teachers feel bad for doing so. And this is before the teachers that actually went back to school, you know, but you know, just not allowing them to make, I mean, they have choices to make on their own, but it's just a matter of everybody got caught up with, oh my God, what am I going to do? Well, I guess when you really truly go watch that Daily Bread, when you're allowing God to lead you, you know, God is going to make sure that you're taken care of. You know, when you're leading yourself, God is like, okay, I'm gonna let you lead yourself, and I'm gonna let you fall on your face a couple of times until you learn the lesson, until you learn to just trust me, and I'll make your load a little easier, you know. And if you trust me, that you don't have to worry about it, because I'm gonna always make sure that you have. So anyway, let's read this letting go card real quick. And then I got these soulmate cards. So give me a minute. 43. Let me hurry up, because I'm not trying to make this a long video. And I'm sorry, y'all. Bear with me, because I'm actually been fasting for like today is my last day of fasting. I call myself trying to fast for 3 days. I do that from time to time when I feel like I'm being called to. So I'm a little hungry, but I'm good though, because God actually fulfills my stomach. Let me say that. So anyway, so letting go, and this is, I'm sure, for those people who need to let go so that the old can be done away with, close out those karmic timelines, be done, so that way you can bring in the new, because as I told you guys before, that God will not bring in the new until we get rid of the old. Okay, letting go of a person or a situation can be challenging at times. What's at stake is not just the relationship or situation, it's the attachment we have for it, the hopes, the dreams, the expectation. Many relationships end long past their natural ending point. One or both people hung on hoping things would change. They reinvest so much time because without that person or job or relationship, their future looms up as one big blank screen. For many, this is too scary to bear. However, by letting go, we create a space for a person or a situation that will resonate with us where we are at right now. Okay? Start looking at your expectations. Start looking at your expectations. Try not to have any. This will enable you to live in the moment and be mindful in the present, to be able to gracefully release from a situation, a lesson for all of us. Okay? So, however God has spoken to you, whatever he has asked you to let go of, and helping to let go is a part of the balancing process. As he lets go, you will be replaced with other things in the process that is feeling that's balanced, that's helping to balance the scales. So in other words, I'm hearing Spirit say God will never leave you and just take something away without not giving you something in return. Okay? Sometimes we want to know why. That's why I keep talking about why. We always want to know the why, releasing why. When sometimes God just wants us to just be present in the moment. Because if we know too much, you guys will hear me say this sometimes, I only know what God tells me, you know. I mean, other than outside of the things that I know, you know, just by learning or whatever. But, you know, there's some things I don't know, and unless God reveals it to me. But other than that, I have to go with the flow, stay in the present moment, and enjoy the moment, because you only get this moment one time. So why not just enjoy it while you're here? Codependency, finances and career, and retreat. Oh, you see that one just fell out? reconciliation. So we got like three groups. Actually, we got like three different groups going on here. So of course we got the group that needs to self-love, the soulmates, and then having faith in the process of knowing that things going to change. Then we have a card here that says retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. And I'm hearing spirit say sometimes this is just a matter of it may not, for some people it would be a relationship, but some people is just retreating from the world because it's on this self-love card, and it's going back to balancing the yin and the yang within, can you say it? Balance the yin and yang that's within us. And that's why God is asking us to retreat and disconnect from the world. So again, for some people it's an actual relationship, and then others it's about balancing the masculine and feminine energy within us. And then the other one that's playing a factor is finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. So that's a situation that's pertaining to some. And then we have the codependency relationships. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. So there's a number of things that's affecting it. Could be finances, needing to balance the yin and the yang, codependency. And then some people will be experiencing the situation of reconciliation. And it says someone from your past is returning into your life. So I'm going to just leave that there. But that was the message. But that message could have been a better message because, again, I'll allow God to guide me on which cards to use, but you saw me shuffling them on camera. So anyway, they match up. Just remember heart and soul, heart's desire, excuse me. Anyway, stay in your heart space. Stay more out of your head and into your heart space, okay? You use your mind when you need to figure out things in regards to situations. Let's just say situations that you need to... situations that you basically need to deal with on, like, for instance, how to figure out how am I going to do my routine for the day. Those are little strategies that you need to use your brain for. But other situations that you can't control that's here, remember, your heart space is basically a space where God convicts you, in other words. So if your heart is on fire for something, listen to it, because obviously that's an inner desire that is wanted. It is needed, and it is calling for you. It is trying to get your attention. And I honestly, I'm just gonna, another song I received the other day was I told you guys was the Diana Summer songs, the hot stuff song. So I was just like, oh my God, like somebody is really on fire, like seriously. And I'm telling you, that song just kept playing. Then I kept hearing the Stevie Wonder song playing, and it just seems like it's just keep getting louder. So for me, that's just letting me know that the energy is just picking up more momentum. So the more that you try to hold on, control, and try to, hide the situation, and for some, the more that you do things, the more you're feeding the energy. So just be mindful of that as well too, if that was kind of helpful. So but anyway, I hope you guys have a beautiful day. I wish you all much love, much light, and I say peace and blessings. And I basically want to say I love you guys. Bye.